Hi boys and girls, I am coming to you today to teach you a really exciting and fun math lesson and use all of the things that we have been working on with area and perimeter. You guys have done such an incredible job with learning how to find area and perimeter and using it to find the area of squares, rectangles, all kinds of different shapes. But at the end of the day, we were just learning how to do it and we really weren't using it on anything. So I came up with this really fun activity for us to take what we've learned about area and perimeter and create something, to create a zoo. So right behind me, you'll see I have my fabulous zoo. That's what I named it. You get to name it whatever you want. But I thought this was a really fun way for us to take what we've learned about area and perimeter and use it so that it will be something that we can remember and take with us when we go off to 4th grade. I really want it to stay with you and I really want you to have fun with it. So today, what I want to teach you is how to use area and perimeter to create your very own zoo. You're going to get some things from me today, and one of the best things you're going to get, it's so cute, you guys are going to love these. You all are going to get your own animal, and there's lizards and gorillas and lions and tigers. And I know before you all yell out what you want, I want you to just think what you might want to yourself and then maybe whisper it to your friend. I really hope that I get a gorilla. I really love zebras, so that's what I chose. Everybody's going to get to choose whatever they want, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. That's just kind of a fun way to make this special to you by getting to pick your very own animal. And you get to name your animal. I named this one Zelda. You can color it. I didn't color it just for my demonstration. I figure you guys know they're black and white, so I just left mine black and white, but you're going to color yours, make it look really, really, really great. And there's a couple little questions for you to get to know your animal here, but the biggest thing, I'll tell you what they say just in case you wonder. What does your animal need to live? Water, food, and toys. I thought toys would be fun because, you might get bored at the zoo. Where will your animal eat and sleep? In her habitat. In the wild, she would live in the grasslands. We studied biomes. We know that these types of animals live in the grasslands, but in the zoo, she's going to live in her habitat. And what will she need, or what does she enjoy? Loves to sleep, sunbathe, and play. I thought she might like to do those things in the zoo. So everybody's going to get one of those. I'm going to put it right here so I don't lose her. Her name is Zelda. You're going to get to name your animal as well. And what I did here is I projected a piece of grid paper. Now, obviously, this is not a real zoo. When you go to a real zoo, it doesn't look like a flat piece of paper. But you guys, I know you're so good at using your imaginations. I know that you can turn this into the most beautiful zoo that we can all pretend that we are going to. So I titled mine, My Fabulous Zoo. You will title yours whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be, if your name is Mason and you want it to be Mason's Magnificent Zoo, if you want it to be named after your specific animal, you can name it whatever you want. So you'll name your zoo. And then you have some really specific instructions. Now remember, the whole reason we're doing this is so that we can make area and perimeter meaningful to you. So you can take it away and you can remember, what do I do for area? What do I do for perimeter? When you go into your house and you look and you say, oh, Mom and Dad, I know how to do that. I know how to measure that rug. The surface area, you just have to measure one side and multiply it by the other. These are things you're actually going to use in your real life. So let's get started, okay? I have my paper here you're all going to get. It's called My Zoo Project, and you all have it in front of you. And it says, the first thing it says, what does it say? The first thing that we need to make sure we have in our zoo. You're right, our animal enclosure. The first thing on here is our animal enclosure. The second thing is a snack shack. Who doesn't love to eat snacks at the zoo, right? The picnic area. What's the fourth one say? Classroom. You're right, it says classroom. Have you ever been to the zoo or to some kind of an exhibit and they have a specialist? When I went on the 1st grade field trip to the aquarium, they had someone that was teaching about the animals. You're going to have a classroom in your zoo too. Ticket booth and entrance. You know you have to buy a ticket when you get in and check in. And a gift shop. everybody's favorite part, of course, is the gift shop where you can pick out something about your favorite animal. Maybe I went and got a stuffed zebra to take home with me. But what are we going to do with these things? We are going to plan them out on our zoo. Okay? We're going to get to decide where they want to be. And I know this isn't going in order, but I'm just thinking the way I would lay out my zoo, and the first thing I would do is determine where the entrance is and where the ticket booth would be. So I'm going to put the entrance here. You do not have to do it exactly like me. And I'm just putting the entrance at the top. A ticket booth doesn't have to be very big, I don't think. I remember this whole thing. Oh, and I wanted to show you this. Right here I have area and perimeter for us to look at because we're going to start building our zoo, and that's going to be really important for us to use our vocabulary words of area and perimeter so that we can remember which one is which, okay? So you don't have to do it this way. I'm going to put the ticket booth right in the front because I'm using my prior knowledge of knowing when I go somewhere, that's where it is. It's right in the front. So a ticket booth doesn't have to be that big. It's usually just a couple people standing in a little booth. So I'm going to draw it, and I want to make sure that I draw it on the lines. You know, when you're finding area and perimeter, remember you're having to measure precisely, and you really can't measure a crooked, wavy, wiggly line. So you want to make it right on the lines. Even do a better job than me because I'm not using a ruler here. You guys are going to have rulers, and you're going to make really nice straight lines. But I'm doing a demonstration here, and I'm just going to try my best to get it on the line. Ticket booth. Now, I'm going to go back here to my vocabulary. Perimeter. The distance around. Oh, okay. So 1, 2, 3. Haha, this is why I gave you this tricky grid paper because, or nifty I should say, not tricky. Nifty grid paper because all I have to do is count the boxes. This is amazing. I'm going to be able to spend all of my energy on creating something amazing and not measuring with a ruler. I'm just going to count these boxes. Okay? Now here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is telling me that the length is 3 and the width is 5. And I know because this is a rectangle that this other side would also be 5. The parallel side will be the same. So over here, same thing. Oh, so I could find the distance around this building, the perimeter, the distance around. Now it tells me here that I just have to add the sides together. So I would be adding perimeter equals 5 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3. My perimeter equals, well this, I'm finding a 10 here. 5 plus 5 is 10 and 3 plus 3 is 6. 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 units is the perimeter. Now, area is a little trickier. This is where we have to get into our multiplication. It tells me here that area is length times width. So this side times this side. 3 times 5. Area equals 3 times 5. We know that. 5, 10, 15. Area equals 15 units. Now, this is the tricky part. Who remembers what I have to do to area? Now, remember, area is not just flat. It covers the middle. So I have to do something to my measurement. I'm going to look right up here. And it shows me where I'm covering. The area is not just a length and a width, but both. So we put a little square, a little 2 raised up. Or you could write it like this. Square units. You could say square inches, square meters, whatever your unit of measurement is, you would square it, and that tells the person that it's the inside. It's not just the length or the width, but both. Okay? So here we are, our ticket booth. We have a perimeter of 16 and an area of 15 units squared. Awesome. I'm going to keep going down my list. I want to show you a few more things because I know you're really excited to get started. I know that you want to do your own zoo. I'm going to show you a couple things that I think are pretty important that'll kind of give you a better idea. And I want to give you at least 3 examples so you'll be able to go on with your work. I'm going to do the snack shack and the picnic area. And I just kind of want to show you what I think it would look like. Again, yours does not have to look like this, but I'm going to show you what I think the snack shack, I'm going to kind of put them together. I'm going to kind of create an area over here. Maybe the picnic area I want it to be, I'm going to do 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try to do a careful line. It's a little blurry for me when I get close to this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll do 4, 6, and 4. And this is going to be the picnic area. Now later, I'm going to go back and give it some detail. Right now I'm going to focus on the math. I'm going to focus on the area and the perimeter. Later I can go back and I can make cute tables, and I can even draw in some cute little food and some umbrellas and trees in an area that people would actually want to sit for a picnic. But right now I'm just going to do the math. Oh, and I'm going to do a better job here. There we go. Okay, so picnic area. I have 6 and 4. Again, if I want to do my perimeter, I need to know what each side is so I can add them. 6 and 6 and 4 and 4. 12 plus 8 equals 20. So my perimeter is 20 units. I added all the way around. Now, for my area, remember, if I forget, I'm going to look back here to my anchor. I have that anchor there. If I forget, I can look there and I can remind myself that area is 4 times 6. You also have all of this written in your math notebooks. All those notes we take and we write all of the different formulas that we need, and we're always supposed to be looking back. That information is there as well. It's always going to be anchored here, and it's always going to be anchored in your math notebook. So 4 times 6 for area. Area equals 4 times 6. Well, I know the math fact for that one. I know that it's 24. If you didn't know the math fact for that one, you could do 2 times 6. You could use a strategy. You could do 2 times 6. You know that 2 times 6 is 12, and then you could just double 12. Always look for a strategy, okay? It would be 24 units squared for the area. Now, right next to it, I'm going to make the snack shack. And the snack shack doesn't have to quite be as big as the picnic area because they're just making food inside. It's like a little snack hut. I'm going to make my snack shack a little bit more like a snack hut. And I'm labeling just like I do in CGI. I'm labeling everything just like CGI because I don't want to forget. When I go back, I don't want to forget what each one of these things are and how I got those answers, okay? So my snack shack, I'll do this quickly so I can get you guys started. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 and 5 is 10, and 6 is 16. Perimeter is 16. And area, I'm multiplying 3 times 5, so 15. Units squared and units. I can write U if I need to, okay? The last thing I want to do before I send you off is I want to give you an idea of what your animal enclosure is going to look like. Why do you think I need to give you this kind of idea? You're right, because this is really what the whole project is about. We want to know where Zelda is going to live. And I want to give you an idea because this animal needs a bigger habitat than the snack shack. Now you're going to go in later and fill in all this space with trees and flowers and things that are going to make your zoo look wonderful. Signs, things that people want to look at. But let's look at the animal enclosure really quickly, okay? It's going to be big, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do 10 by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if I'm on the edge of the paper like that, I'm just going to leave that line at the end. Well, I made this one really simple just as an example, 10 by 10. The perimeter would be 4 times 10 because it would be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. That's 40 units. And the area would be 10 times 10, 100 units squared, okay? So this is enough to get you guys started so that you can be on your way. I'll show you really quick. Excuse me. Later you're going to go and I can make Zelda her own pool. I can make drips of water coming out, splashing out. I can make her a little hill that she can go stand on. I can put where her food and water dishes are. I can give her lots of detail, but I mainly wanted to show you today how you can use area and perimeter to create your own zoo. Off you go.